How I new things though, new
New
things, new
things,
things,
new
new
things.
things. Yeah. What going on? What going on? What going
Yes,
on?
yes, cool. We back. We back. Another rounds.
Right, right. But you know we just usually start it off. What
Um,
going on with the pause?
Don't talk to me. I'm know you have. I'm know you have.
I going back with bottling done yet, so I don't go back in. I go back in for a little Merlot. You know what
All
I mean?
right, all right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Until you wash it down. Until you wash it
Well,
down.
coincidence because today on your line, so I can a little
Hey,
Merlot myself.
hey. Now what we talking about? That's what we talking
Dig.
about. Yeah, that's what we
So,
talking about. Right? Hey, here's mine.
salute.
All
All
right.
right.
So let me start off. Let me start it off with Euro and the matches that have gone thus far. So the knockout matches. What really going on? What really happened? What's our feelings about it? In fact, you started off. How you feel about the matches thus far in the knockout round?
Well, we had four matches so far to today to yesterday. Um, I'll start with yesterday's matchups. I was very much surprised the way Italy was for I was surprised how Italy was destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I told you that puts up a better fight, but uh, there goes my dark horse, just trotting into the sunset. So they're home. Um, Germany took care of Denmark, which I think everybody expected. Musiala was on the score sheet again, so hats off to him, cheers to him. Um, in today's matchup, though,
Mm-hmm.
woo! Let me go with Spain. Spain took care of Georgia. Georgia got the early goal, stunned them, and then Spain basically said, "Yo, let me stop playing with you," and handle the scene 4-1. They are true. In the first matchup though, the first matchup of the day though, I mean, we was talking, we was watching the game and saying Slovakia, as much as they started off the game taking it to England, they eventually just kind of they got the goal, which was great for them. They got an early goal, and
Mm-hmm.
they just decided to pack it in. They set up that big blue wall and try to pack it in. Now during the game, we were saying, "I they need to come out at least in the second half and try to push for the second goal at least." You know, so yeah, it could at least have a two-goal advantage, and then they could actually settle down and say, "Well, all right, let me park the bus and take care of the game." But no, they decided to park it up. England, to their credit, they kept going at them. That a goal or two that was ruled off offside.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but they eventually get the equalizer in the 95th minute, I believe, with
Somewhere there.
Jude with his version of CR7's bicycle kick. I'm just saying, no, I'm just saying, it was good. It was good. It was a good goal. You know, and after that, we say the game was over, and England got the winner from Harry Kane a header late early in the extra time, and that was the end of Slovakia. I mean, they never catch themselves. They tried to pour on the pressure after that, but tired legs at that point in time. Change a rotation. Rotation players came in and just couldn't do it. I mean, they should have won the game in my opinion, but they lost because of the tactics. The tactics was terrible in sense of parking it so early, and that was the downfall. What's your thoughts?
The much jump off for this. I mean, I'm tired talking about England, to be quite honest, because there's nothing really exciting about England to talk about, right? Uh, First thing first, Menu would have started in the midfield next to Declan Rice. He had a good game. He had a decent game. Um, in my opinion, he was much better than Trent in that particular position. But he had a good game. I think the issue is up front. Um, one of Phil Foden, Jude, or Saka has to drop to the bench. It has to be. All right. And right now, my vote is for Foden because Foden still does look to me like he taking the game by the scruff of the neck. As much as person may complain about Jude and what Jude is doing, Jude is still trying to impact the game somehow. He's trying to um, create plays. He's trying to find the ball. He drop back deep if he needs to. Whatever the case may be, attack corners, attack crosses. And to me, Foden is just, hey, when a ball roll out to the top of the box, I'm gonna try and hit a shot there. And hopefully it looks good. He doesn't look good on the wings at all. So to me, is you drop him and you actually put a left wing, and there you have Gordon there could play in that role. So at the end of the day, England got it done by Jags. I'm kind of more disappointed in Slovakia in this case because there were many cases where Slovakia could have drained more time from the clock and then just either was running with the ball too much, just kick the ball up front. There was a particular play, I remember messaging about this play, where Slovakia got a breakaway, and this was near the end of the game, not too long before England scored. Got a breakaway on the right-hand side of the field. There was green, real green. It had like two defenders back. Homie run with the ball about 4 steps, stopped, turn, try to pass it back to the person who was coming and pass the ball off the field, giving England back the ball. When you could have at least go to the corner flag, do something, try and draw a foul, something, but just passing that ball up there and basically giving England the chance again, and about 45 seconds later, boom, goal. So a little disappointed in their tactics there. I mean, I'm not expecting Slovakia to come out there and just be spreading the ball like old school Spain or anything like that. But at the same time, they could have a bit more tactics in terms of how to drain the clock properly without giving back England so much of the ball. And to be fair, I don't think until Jude's goal, that was their first shot on target. That was England's first shot on target, I think. I could be mistaken, but I do know that it wasn't the first.
Declan Rice had a shot that went off the post.
Yeah, they don't consider that to be on target.
They don't count that.
Yeah. So that was it to me. England to me is going to get a much more difficult test when it comes to Switzerland, because as you say, Switzerland deal with Italy. Switzerland played Italy like if me care who Italy is on that. We coming at it, right? From the first whistle to the last whistle, Switzerland was going at Italy. Italy had no clue how to go at Switzerland. No clue at all. All right. So Switzerland is going to give England a lot more problems. Right? It's going to be interesting to see how they deal with it. But in the other game, Spain right now looks like the best team in Euro at this point in time. Right? Nico Williams giving him nightmares, bro. Nightmares.
Agreed.
Right? That man giving man nightmares because I mean he had a great goal, but he I don't think still Yamal is playing at the level Nico is, but Yamal isn't playing badly. Right? And I think I'll put it down to youth because he's making some wrong decisions sometimes. But still, his technique on the ball and able to dribble passes is one. You don't know who to mark. Should I send everybody across the Nico or should I run everybody across the Yamal? And yeah, it's difficult. But Spain looking real good. And yeah, eventually we'll see how it goes when they play the mighty Germans, the Germans.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting matchup.
Yeah,
I think it's a rematch from some time of his last Euros or Euros before, I think.
Yes, one of the Euros on them, yeah. I can't remember which one specifically, but one of the Euros.
That should be a good matchup because you had the two young stars on both sides. You have Musiala and Wirtz,
Mm-hmm.
and you have Nico and Yamal for Spain. And to me, currently right now, based on what we've seen, I think Nico and Yamal might be the better duo because as much as Musiala has been scoring, Woods hasn't really lived up to the hype, in my opinion. I'm not sure what it is. If it's just a long season, then that he's kind of worn out. I mean, he played all the way through with Leverkusen in terms of Leverkusen, right?
Yeah, it's Leverkusen.
Right, he played Leverkusen through their undefeated season, and then they had the Europa League final, and they also had the Bundesliga Cup to end off their season after the UEFA final. So maybe it's a long season and he's just tired. I don't know, but for all the hype and the star quality and the Real Madrid interest, I'm not seeing that level of potential really and truly. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm just saying I'm not seeing the hype.
Well, I mean, it could be many of those things. It could just be the system that they're playing right now. Because it was one thing about Germany is that Germany have many different options, right? Because they start off with Kai up front, and then they go to full group. Then they have Sane started instead of Woods on the wing. So they have a lot of options in terms of how they want to play, especially with their left backs and right backs, right? They varied a lot. Even the centre backs vary a lot too. So it'll be an interesting game. A Spain team looks better, but I think if any team has the tools to be able to beat Spain at this point, it'll be Germany and France. If France decides to come to the tournament and
play to their potential,
play to their potential, but they have the most tools to be able to defeat Spain. Right? I still think Spain, although they're scoring a lot of goals, well, I scored a lot of goals on two occasions, the first game and this last game here. I still think that with a tight defense, it's going to be difficult for them to score goals. But we have Nico and Yamal again on right now, an isolated men and have men doing all kind of dance when they get beat, right?
I mean, shot big the wiggle, all kind of thing.
Yeah, all kind of tatty, all kind of bogle, all kind of thing men doing right now, right? But yeah, you see how it goes from that point because it'll be real interesting. I think it's very difficult to pick a winner, but in terms of how teams looking right now, Spain looking like definitely contenders or possible winners at this point.
Yeah, agreed. See, not France, as I say, France kind of been shaky. Still left to see if well they play tomorrow. So
Against the chocolate makers. Chocolate.
Yeah. So I mean, they left to be seen what they do tomorrow against Belgium. We also have Portugal and
Portugal plays
Slovenia.
Slovenia. Yeah.
Yeah, that should be another one to watch as well too. Who knows? Maybe there's an upset tomorrow. I think France and Portugal would be the favorites, but they are playing to on paper. At least Slovenia, for how they have played through this tournament, they have been consistently decent. I won't say they've been great, but they have been surprising some teams. So maybe they catch Portugal, or maybe Portugal has found their form, especially after losing their last game of the group stage. So it's left to be seen what happens tomorrow, but anything's possible.
Anything is possible, but I think it's Slovenia, right? Slovenia is the type of team that Portugal likes to lose to. Portugal have a history of losing the sides that are not in their class, put in quotes, in their class, right? So it's very possible that could happen because they get early goal, set up shop, and they just didn't get a luck of the draw as England got it today. But You see how it goes. I don't see France, Belgium being much of a competition. It may look on paper to be so, but if France decides to show up again and play to the potential, they should be able to deal with Belgium pretty well. I think the biggest threat coming from Belgium for me is Doku.
Doku.
Doku, yeah, Doku to me is the only guy I see there as a real threat to run at the back line, especially if they put him on the side with Theo Hernandez, because Theo Hernandez might make a run up and forget Doku there, and Doku could go and make mass at that back line. So I think that's the one that's the biggest threat to me. What Doku could do, and well, Kevin De Bruyne is also always a bit of a threat, but he has to get the ball. And I think they tend to give the ball to Doku, and then Doku kind of causes chaos and then try to find De Bruyne or Lukaku.
Right.
Saying that slightly because Lukaku right now,
I mean,
I know, boy.
he just be 1 in 5 or 1 in 10. So maybe tomorrow is that 5 or 10. Who knows?
Yeah, he needs to be more. Well, I'm gonna say he needs to be more consistent, but that has been his career. So I don't think there's gonna be much difference at this point in time. So I just hoping for a good game. I don't want a boring game where everybody just basically playing within themselves. I just want teams to come out and to be quite frank. Even though Switzerland dealt with Italy, it was still a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Spain, Georgia. Georgia has nothing to be ashamed of. Georgia came out and played to the best of their ability and caused little problems every once in a while once they got the opportunity. So I just want a good game. I just want to see one good game with France. Just one good game with France. Right? Please. I'm begging for England too.
Mm.
One good game, but at least please, France, start it off now. Start the ball rolling. Like,
I
start
mean,
the
I
ball
think
rolling.
I mean, you should get a good game from France. I'm thinking, I'm hoping, because you look at Mbappe, got some extra days to rest and recover and get accustomed to whatever is going on with his nose. Swelling probably
Mhm.
going down now, so he's probably breathing a bit better too. Um, I don't know if Griezmann found his World Cup boots or
Emojo.
his mojo somewhere. If Dembele also found some control. So I don't know, maybe the potential is there. The team knows each other, so they shouldn't it shouldn't be hard. But we go see.
Yeah, I suppose we could see. Yes, we go see. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully no major storm comes and hit. And
Yeah, and
we
knockout power and all
can't
kind
see
of
the
crap.
game. Yeah, hopefully all that does happen. Or Hurricane Barrel kind of cool it a little bit. But
Yeah, son.
yeah, we'll wait and see how it goes.
Yeah, true. Any other thing you're looking forward to then in those other games?
I'm looking forward to the Turkey game. I'm trying to remember who Turkey is
Austria.
playing. Austria, yeah, and Austria has been playing very well. So that Turkey Austria game could be some fire there. And well, Romania seem to find back the juice. So Netherlands Romania could be a nice back and forth too. But those two games could present an upset, or it could present a very nice game in terms of teams just going for it and trying to win the game rather than just sit back and hope to score a goal.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah.
I'm more looking for the Turkey Austria. Thinking that should present a exciting game at least. The, the Dutch and Romania.
Yeah, yeah, it's not as exciting. Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
as
yeah.
exciting.
I mean, it should, but mm, not the way. I mean, then again, too. Yeah, I mean, the last
Hmm.
game of the group stage, the Dutch actually put on a good game. They scored. They lost 3-2, but they scored. They made it exciting. So maybe it it surprises us and be a good game on both fronts. So let's wait and see.
All right, cool. Well, I know you have something that you want to talk about very badly, right? And
Was
I know
that
it's
nah?
about
I had the last. I had the last. I had the last segment. I had the last hater. So I leave it
uh,
up to you. I know you have
uh,
something you
yeah,
really want to get off your
yeah.
chest.
I really do. So yes, let me just keep that intro there and I'm gonna start. I started in a different way this time. It's not
All
what I
right,
expect. Yeah.
all
All
right,
right,
all right. I know you have a few now, so
Ray, I have plenty line up. I have plenty line up.
yeah.
Right.
I know you have them. So
All right.
do you think? Yep.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna take a sip before I start.
Yeah, sip that hater.
Right. So this one I'm just tired of it at this point. Could we stop? Could we stop in terms of those who watch football? Can we stop the Messi and Ronaldo comparisons, please? It's getting annoying now. I really can't stand it anymore. Okay, regardless of who you support, who you find is the best, okay, cool. But it can't be. And this is literally something I saw today, and I think I had to stop watching certain things on Twitter. The Bernabeu had a concert. So I guess it's some Spanish person had a concert. And underneath the Bernabeu concert, where people are commenting, they find out what concert is it? Somehow come up with, Messi has scored so many goals and stuff like that. Like, damn, this has absolutely nothing to do with anything else. Why under anything with Real Madrid or Portugal, there's things about CR7. There's things about Messi. It just getting real frustrating at this point. It gets into the point that we kind of appreciate the other players who are coming up, right? Because we are still, I don't know, obsessed with these persons who are on the last of their career. I mean, Messi's enjoying his MLS time, right? Time with Argentina too. And CSF making a lot of money in Saudi Arabia and playing a little bit for Portugal. They are at the end of their careers. Can we stop about who's better and who has more chances created? And don't even get me started about these stats that don't make sense, that does nothing for the game. But we like to just pull out stats. But I ain't gonna start on that rant today. My rant right now is just about can we stop the Messi versus Ronaldo? That time has passed, that era is gone. It's no longer that sort of battle. Barca versus Real Madrid has nothing to do with Messi or Ronaldo anymore. Could we at least please appreciate the players that are playing now at the peak of their powers? Right. And end scene, yeah.
And see.
That's it. Yeah, I good. I'm real tired of this Messi Ronaldo comparisons. But it just don't make sense anymore. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. It is tedious. It is, especially when both of them are playing in competitions still for the national teams, and there's the comparison. I saw something today where they say this is the first tournament that both Messi and Ronaldo failed to score in the group stage. And then I see somebody below say that there's Ronaldo first and Messi's third or fourth or something like that. That didn't happen.
Who cares?
It really don't matter. Though. I mean, they are no longer that for their respective countries. They are captains, yes, and to me they're just leading by example and they're doing what is necessary for the team. If that means to score, cool. If that means assist, cool. If that just means their leadership, one is 39. The other one is
37, I think. I think it was 37. I think he's 37. I think Messi is 37, yeah.
right. So I mean, in the footballing world, they are old men.
Very.
So
Unless you name Pepe.
right. So I mean, they are both great in they are both great in their own regard. It's just let's just appreciate both what they have done for the sport and keep it moving. I mean, two things can be a lot of things can be equal or at the same time. So Ronaldo is great, Messi is great. I mean, you may like either one for a particular reason, but don't diminish the shine of the other one because one is your particular.
I'm saying, no. If anybody asks me who's better between the two, right? I have a preference for CR7 because I'm a Real Madrid fan.
Mm-hmm.
But as I have said many times, when Messi won the World Cup for me, I think that argument was ended for me there. I don't think they could ever now compare them anymore. To me, Messi is considered to be the best of this era. I'm not going to say he's the best ever because Messi never get the jump kicks and stuff that Maradona and Pele used to get. So do come with that and tell me he's the best ever. He's great. His numbers is great. He's the best of this era, right? Maybe until football rules changes in another way soon, then we could say we're out of that era to a new era. But right now, in this current era of football, yes, I would say Messi is better. He's not the best of all time. It's impossible to be able to say who's the best of all time. So yeah, that's hard. I don't mind having good discussions with persons who just want to discuss in terms of hey the differences, where you like, where you dislike. I don't mind that. But when it comes down to but Messi do all of this, but and Messi and this that and Ronaldo this and so and who does make more money and we don't care. Ronaldo and Messi is not giving me any of their money. So it doesn't
Facts.
matter who is making more and who has more endorsements and who does give to charity. I don't care. I don't watch Ronaldo or Messi to hear about charity. To be quite honest, don't care, right? So I just had to rant about that because it's ridiculous that persons are coming at the end of their career. Literally, if this was anyone else, we didn't even hear about them.
True.
We
So
still hearing about it.
I mean, we have more debates in terms of like current players. Who's the best striker right now? Because is it Vinny or is Vinny even a striker or is he just a winger?
He's not.
Is it Haaland?
There's another rant. There's another rant. I'll leave it now. I'll leave it now one or two. There's
See,
another rant.
I mean,
No. There's a whole nother rant.
I think his own
That's
thing.
a whole nother conversation to happen in terms of what we consider to be strikers and forwards these days. There's
I
a
mean,
whole
listen,
nother.
I mean, they just off rip. It's just that I don't think there's like what we knew a striker to be growing up. There, that it really exists in today's game. I mean, because a striker is more like a center forward that does many things,
Right.
right? And the in terms of the hierarchy of center forwards or forwards now, can't even say center forwards alone. But matter of fact, in terms of the hierarchy of center forwards, there's only one real center forward, which should probably be Haaland.
You can act like Fulgro. I mean, Fulgro kind of not in Haaland's level, but
But I
but
was
yeah,
saying any hierarchy.
Haaland and Kane is about in the same level, I would say.
Right. So you're looking at Haaland and Kane. I'm trying to figure out who else you could throw into that. Probably would you put
Not I saw it's Osimhen coming with there. No,
yeah.
I
Nope.
wouldn't put him there. Nope.
Right. So we generally have now a bunch of wingers who are goal scorers.
To some extent, yeah.
So yeah, you pick that up on a later date.
Yeah, we'll pick that one because that's a whole another argument of how people overcomplicating the game. And I understand that the game has to evolve, but there's some things that are just we look at too many different things to try and define a player. If a
Right.
player is good in finding space and being able to shoot and score, allow him to be that player. I hate to hear that, oh, Haaland doesn't drop back and spread the ball. For what? That is not his role. Haaland is to be where you need to be when the ball reaches there. He doesn't need to do what Messi did. He doesn't need to do what Benzema did. That's not his role. That is not his secret sauce. Right? Haaland is not great for spreading the ball. Right? Haaland is great by putting the ball in the back of the net. So, as I say, I don't want to go into all of that. There's a whole another rant. I'm not going to go into that. I know enough sips for that.
we,
I know
we,
enough sips for that.
we digress enough. So
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
move
yeah.
forward. Let's move forward.
Yeah, let's move.
What's your thoughts on the Copa America so far? I mean, we're into the final rounds of the group stage. Some teams have already qualified. Some teams have already been eliminated. Jamaica for one. Was
Wow,
your
should I take it?
it wasn't not for want of trying. And they had a couple of games. One game in particular where I think they were robbed, but there should have been I think it was a handball in the box that wasn't called. It was clear as day, but VAR looked at it and said no. But what's been your thoughts on the Copa America so far? I know you haven't really been paying too much attention to them, but I know you probably watched some highlights and stuff, read the reviews and things. So what's been your thoughts so far?
Well, three things I could say. One, right now, Lautaro Martinez for Argentina. Yeah, he just on fire, man. He just scored. He just scoring for fun. He actually has now brought his
bench too.
Yeah, he actually brought his Inter form to Argentina, so that kind of making them seem a lot better than they're actually playing, in my opinion. Not saying that they're not playing well. They're playing well enough to qualify, but they're not playing at that level of, yeah, boy, this Argentina for sure, right? So that's one thing I'll mention. I know Messi has an injury. I think he's day-to-day now. He missed the last game, and I think he's day-to-day to see what's going on for the knockout rounds. So you see what happens there.
I think he will play. I think this game was just they already qualified. There was no need for him to play the last group game. So might as well just rest him, give him extra days to get the swelling down and all that kind of thing. So I don't see that as being I don't see it as being I could be wrong, but I don't think it's a major injury or issue. I think it's just a matter of giving him time to enough time to recuperate, because there's no need for him to be out there.
True. The next thing I want to raise is that Madako isn't looking too hot. He ain't looking too hot these days. Mexico isn't looking so good. But hopefully they could pull off a little something. I know they're playing right now against Venezuela. It's halftime and it's still 0-0.
Yeah, correct.
No, Ecuador. Sorry, they're playing against Ecuador. Yeah, and it's still 0-0. They're looking too nice. But hey, I'm still holding on for them to Madako. Yeah, they're looking good, bruv. Right. Colombia looks good. James looking like you roll back them on the clock, to
man is not that old though. Gosh, making it sound
but he just get like he that old. Like that's the thing. He just get like he that old, right? But he's playing very well. This guy too, from Liverpool, Luis Diaz, playing very well too. So Colombia looking like a one of those teams that you would not have a dark horse themselves. I mean, we didn't pick them, right? Last two things. Uruguay under Bielsa looking real good. They're looking fiery. They're looking fiery. So yeah, I mean Nunes are now scoring, which is kind of amazing. But there's another centre forward there who also just push on the wing sometimes. But again, wrong conversation.
Yeah. We digress.
We digress, yeah. Uruguay looking real good. It'll be real interesting to see how they look in the knockout rounds. Right? And finally, Brazil. Brazil first game was atatata. I would not lie. Right? But one thing I like, even though I picked Vini to be the flop, one thing I like about Vini is that every time there is concern about how he's playing and why he don't get dropped or whatever the case may be, is that the next game he's come out to prove them wrong. And he did. Right? He was unstoppable. To the point that it was Panama. Was it? No, it wasn't Panama. Who they played in that round again? Let me just double check.
Paraguay,
thanks. Yeah, they played Paraguay. Coach came out and say that how the referee should have intervened because Vini was playing with too much flair. And he was too much dribbling with the ball. And the back of my mind like,
What
bro,
are you supposed to do?
yeah, but you paused. You literally is South America. Like literally. What is Brazil known for? Let's go back to Neymar. Let's go back to Ronaldinho. Let's go back to Ronaldo. Let's go back to D. Nielsen. Come on. You can't come and say that's how somebody dribbling too much. That's a whole nother rant again. But I'll leave that alone.
Oh, here we go do, right? We'll create an episode for just sipping on
Just
Haterade. I
rant. Yeah,
think
that's it.
if I had to get a bottle or
Yeah,
two,
a bottle or two.
I
Right.
just I just offload. Just get everything off.
Let's get off the chat. Let's get off
Yeah,
the
yeah,
chat.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that is my thoughts so far from what I've seen. As I say, I didn't watch all the matches. I just watched one Uruguay match, one Brazil match, well, two Brazil matches actually, um, and the highlights and of course reviews and everything like that. But you have watched the matches. What's your thoughts so far?
Um, it in terms of like excitement and stuff, the games haven't been on the same level to me personally as the Euros have, but there have been some surprise matches and some surprise play, basically. In the sense of like the Uruguay game, I wasn't expecting them to deal with that team. Which was again? I don't want to
Was it?
call it
Was it?
Bolivia.
Was it? Yeah, Bolivia. Yeah.
I mean, Bolivia is not a world class team, but still, I didn't expect them to hit them five. And the thing is,
Yeah.
you know, when a team is up a certain amount, like 3 goals, clear, 4 goals, whatever the case is, they tend just to relax. Nah,
Mhm.
Uruguay went right down till they lie down. They hit them late in the dying minutes. They hit them, so it was good to see that. It's like the first rounds of the group stage was kind of lackluster for me.
Mhm.
But there were some exciting, there were some goals. I'm gonna say so the goals created that excitement in the second rounds of matches, like the Brazil game as well too. Um, and the thing is, though, I find there's a bit of I wouldn't say bias. Bias is not the word, but to me, there seems like a bit of I don't even know it's the correct word, man. But something feels off in terms of like how some teams are being treated. Like I said, the Jamaica game,
Mhm.
where it is there was a handball, but it was not given. And I mean, the scoreline read against Ecuador for Jamaica 3-1, but Jamaica gave a good account of themselves. It's just that third goal came late with Jamaica pushing to get the
Okay.
equalizer. But um, the games, I guess the games have improved. I didn't watch all the games because I think they would just. I think I'm waiting for like the knockout stage. Well, I guess for them for things to see what transpired because that is where the real matchups just come in.
Mhm.
Usually get the traditional Copa matches, the Colombias and Brazils and the Argentina and Uruguay and all these other teams. So, but games haven't been bad. But it's in terms if you want to compare Euros to Copa, Euros have been more exciting,
Okay. Okay.
in my opinion. But the games haven't been bad. Typical, I guess, typical Copa games. Nothing easy. Hard fouls. Then walking with the blade. so, so, so I mean, some red cards were given too. So I mean,
Some
I
fists were
guess if you
thrown.
really want to think about it, it's the traditional Copa America tournament where nothing comes easy, and if you are underdog, just know it's gonna be you had to fight to really win a game, and the underdogs don't really they as much as the I think it's more like the top dogs playing down to the underdogs. because Argentina hasn't looked out all that good in my opinion. Brazil, the first game where they had more possession and attempts and everything, they didn't score, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But as you say, in this second game that they had, they really came out and put their foot down. Vinny put his head down and he wasn't complaining. He wasn't flopping. He wasn't looking for fouls. Even if he got kicked down, he quickly got up and continued. So, I mean, Rodrigo didn't look all that good, but he still was in the flow of the game. Savinho got the start. He didn't look as good as he did in the first game when he came on and was really taking it to the other team. But let's see. You know, there's more football to be played. So, but it hasn't been a bad tournament still. I wouldn't say it was a bad tournament. It's been what it is.
Okay. All right, cool. Nothing wrong with that at all. All right. So, seeing that, let me move off of football and go to your favorite topic. You know what I mean? So, I know you want to talk about the NBA free agency rumors. Right?
Well, I mean,
So, let me hear you. What have you excited? What have you depressed? Anything about JJ Redick anymore?
that I'll leave it JJ where I left JJ. You know, I mean, that would be for when season starts. I reserve comment on that for later in the season.
Right.
For in terms of free agency, I'll start with my team, Lakers. They're looking at guys like, well, the top name they're looking at is Klay Thompson. Another name that came up was Brook Lopez. They might look for a trade for that. Valanciunas was another name. Jonas Valanciunas, who's on the Pelicans. That was another name whispered. To bring in a center so that AD doesn't always have to play the five. But my thing is, the way fives are set up now, certain centers are set up now, I mean, it's still an easy work for AD because AD can't play the traditional big man role down on the block, and he could step out and shoot trees. I don't know what JJ's. I don't know what the new coach tactic would be for AD, right? Still to be seen. But just going on what Davenham did, or didn't do as a matter of fact as well too. There were times AD was the focus of the offense, which I think it should be the case because LeBron is an old player. LeBron is 39, going to be 40 before the year is out, and yes, he's still producing at a high level. I think he averaged like 25, 7, and 6 or something like that. But he more picks when he attacks or when he wants to get into the game. So I think the focus should be AD and Austin Reeves as well. But Lakers are transitioning. So the talk is that to get Klay, they need to up the price. The mid-level exception they're looking at is probably like about $13 million. Dallas has the same mid-level exception at around $16 million because of the trade that it did with Tim Hardaway Jr. So
right,
Lakers to increase that to make it, I guess, more enticing is to move D'Angelo Russell's contract because he opted in. So that's $18 million they need to get rid of, going in some other direction. Another name that has been thrown out because he was waived this evening is Chris Paul. If you're bringing him in you see, I don't like that for Lakers because it doesn't make sense to me because you have many ball handlers on the team already. Because LeBron is a ball handler. 80 ball handlers at times. Austin Reeves is a hybrid guard, so he's a ball handler as well. And let's go with who's on the roster right now. D'Angelo Russell, if he stays, is a point guard. So You don't need another point guard.
Especially an old one.
Huh?
Especially an old, always injured one.
Correct. You know, just what gets injured at a certain time of the year for the last 3, 4, 5 seasons is like almost clockwork. So I think bringing him in would make sense. Not for the Lakers. For another team, maybe a younger team, probably the Timberwolves. Although they also have a young, a old point guard in Mike Conley. But if it is you want to have a floor general, I guess, not to give you much minutes, but to spot you a few here and there, and also be on the bench coach. Maybe a Minnesota could use him. Also, maybe a team who is rising as well in terms of Orlando could use Chris Paul's help. But there was a thought that he wants to stay closer to his family who are based in Los Angeles. So Clippers have also been thing, but I don't know. Let's see. Other free agents who there's another funny thing too though. There was a trade on the given out, on the table for the Warriors to get Zach LaVine. So I think the talk was a trade centered around Zach LaVine, Chris Paul, and either Andrew Wiggins and Moody, and I think Kuminga's name had jump up in it too, which is I find if I was Warriors didn't do the deal, so it wasn't really making sense for the Warriors. I don't think the Warriors should get rid of either Kuminga at least. Moody it could probably move, but I would stick with Kuminga because Kuminga came into his own last season. I mean, he had his ups and downs, but still, later into the season, he started to get a flow and an idea where it is going. But if you're looking at Clay is not coming back, and you want to get rid of Wiggins, and Steph and Draymond are the only ones on roster still that from the old regime, you need to start looking at succession. And Kuminga to me is that guy that you would try to want to at least see that he's been in the fold for a while, try to build around. I don't know, we'll see. Another big free agent name is Paul George. The rumor is that that the Sixers are going to be heavy in trying to recruit him. I think it would make sense, but I think it also makes sense if it is you're looking at moving Tobias Harris' contract. Because
that always makes sense. That always makes sense.
I mean, this is not a hate on Tobias Harris, it's just that it hasn't worked with Philly.
Really hasn't. Really.
Yeah, I know you have your seats there.
Yeah,
you know, but
for sure.
It really hasn't worked because I mean, initially when he came over to Ben Simmons and Embiid show, and he was the third man and trying to find his way in, but I don't know, it didn't work out. It was working out. It wasn't working out.
He was the fourth man. He was actually the fourth man because he came around the same time as Jimmy.
Right.
And Jimmy was changing the whole culture. He had them wearing
headbands
and all them kind of shit. Yeah. And for some reason, Sixers find some way of not keeping Jimmy and offering Tobias Harris all the money.
The extension, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a weird one though. I thought would have actually kept Jimmy, and especially seeing that he had the cohesion with Embiid. They built in that little year or half a season, 3/4 of a season, whatever it is they had together. He and Embiid built a nice little cohesion, and it was working on and off the court. So, but Jimmy's in Miami now. Tobias is there. They're looking at bringing Paul George. Another name rumored for them to be going after is Caldwell Pope. But I think I saw something with him going at agreeing to a deal, I think in Orlando. I think it's a 3 or 4 year deal for about 60-some million in Orlando. I mean, Orlando has cap room. They are a young team. They made the playoff this year, first time in probably a decade, I think it was. So they could quietly make some moves that could improve the team, but still left to be seen. Free agency is still young. Some guys got contracts, but still, I saw something with Brandon Ingram. I can't remember if it was I think it's the Jazz or somebody else was looking at making a move for him. We'll see how that goes. Harden is staying with the Clippers for about a 2 year deal with about 70 mil. So I'm not sure what the Clippers are really doing, to be honest. They have this new arena that they're moving into in Inglewood, the old Forum, and you would think that they would have tried to retain Paul George. He's a California guy. They have Kawhi. Kawhi give them a discount.
Which he should have.
Huh?
Which he should have.
Yeah, because
injuries.
You haven't been playing though.
Yeah, exactly.
But Paul George has been firm on he wants a max, and if Clippers ain't giving him it, somebody else will give him it. So and teams will give him it, So we'll see. Free agency it only started at 6 p.m. today, so it should be. I mean, I think once the Paul George thing happens, you should see other pieces falling into place. But in these days, guys now waiting for big star names to make a decision, then getting the money where they can. So you'll see. Because also we signed the young boy, Max Christie. A 4-year deal for about 32, which isn't bad. He's a nice player. I like him. I like what he does. I mean, he's more of a bench guy now, but there were spells last year when he had to come in and he provided some good offense and he tries on defense. He's not the best defender, but he tries. So once free agency really kicks in, we should see what teams will start to look like and the pieces and stuff. What's your thoughts on your Sixers, on your Mavs looking to make some deals too?
Well, before I even get to them, I seen some other things here that you didn't touch on because I'm not watching your reported deals so far now.
Right. Yeah, I missed some deals. I didn't call out some deals.
Yeah. Right. But I think the one that's very interesting, the DeJounte Murray going to Pelicans as a report. Yeah. That could be a nice little pickup for them. That could be a nice little pickup for them. I think it will help them a bit. I don't think it will get them over the hump, but I do think it will help the team a bit, especially if this guy, if Zion isn't as available as he should be. I think that'll help them a bit in that area. Zion is a whole different thing, right? But one thing I just see here with 76ers, a little Wayne, I see Andrew Drummond made a 2-year deal with 76ers and Eric Gordon.
Who was?
Eric Gordon.
They signed Eric Gordon?
That's your report. They say that's your report so far. I don't know if they say agreed, but we don't know if it completes as yet.
Right.
Yeah.
That is not too bad pickups though. Hear him out.
Right.
They're older, yes. Which means they don't require much playing time. If they do get playing time, is because it fits a need of the team or the team is thing. Sixers are generally a young team now, right? I mean, we have Embiid and Maxey. Maxey is now coming on.
Right.
Embiid is oft injured.
Oft.
In fact, he's always injured. Right? So Drummond provides you with that big man presence that could at least hold it down in terms of defense.
God, now one said defensively,
Yeah,
definitely not
defensively. But
offensively.
Drummond also gets his points with rebounds, offensive rebound. He's one of the best offensive rebounders in the game, right?
Why I feeling though that Andre Drummond was on 76ers before?
That who?
That he
He
was on
was. He
76ers
was.
before.
Before he,
Right,
like about 2 years ago, give or take, about 2 seasons ago, I think he was on Sixers. And it was
right.
by a trade or something like that. And it was shocking that they didn't re-sign him. But he's back. So I mean it's not to me, I don't see it as a bad deal because Drummond is not gonna play 17, 20 minutes a night. Drummond will give you a hot 10,
Right.
8 minutes, and is a big body that could if Embiid is injured or if he's in foul trouble, he could hold on the defense or a second unit for you in terms of defensively. He doesn't need the ball, So if it is too dependent on the matchups like Minnesota, let's just say that has their version of the Twin Towers now in terms of Cat and Gobert. You have a dual big man that could do a comparative combo of big men that could hold it down for you as well. So it's not a bad deal. Eric Gordon is a shooter who just needs. He's a spot shooter. So he would line in a corner, Maxi do his thing, drive, kick, shot. So it's to me it's two good pickups, especially if it is you actually going after Paul George, that you have a veteran team around you, which is lacking in the NBA now. So I don't see it as too bad pickups for them. It's just to see how the coach uses them.
Right, I guess, yeah. And I think this one is a big one too. Michael Bridges to Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Finally, this guy might get some proper help. The
Bronson.
guy who came from Mars, yeah, Bronson, yeah. Finally get some help, some proper help.
Now, I mean, this is the thing, right? What Knicks doing is kind of they take those guys all play together in college, in Villanova, and they won a national championship, which is Mikal Bridges, Bronson, Hart, and DiVincenzo. They won that college team, that Villanova team that won the national championship. So, I think is those four guys play very hard, and they are familiar with each other. And it's now that they are all in the league, and they've all grown into their own respective roles and stardom, So it'd be interesting to see how they all mesh together because you had three of them play with each other last season, which was DiVincenzo, Hart, and Brunson. So, and they played well. They did very well for the Knicks, especially with all the injuries that the Knicks had.
Right.
So bringing in Bridges now, who has grown into his own as well too in terms of offensively, because when he came in, he was a defensive specialist that would probably give you some jump shots. But he's between played in Phoenix and then going to Brooklyn. He has worked on his offensive game and has become a all-round player, what they like to say as a 3-and-D guy. So so you now have Brunson having offensive help and defensive help as well too, because Hart is good defensively, DiVincenzo is good defensively, Bridges is good defensively, and they also retained OG Anunoby, who's also another 3-and-D guy. My issue though is that they are now a very small team because you have Zach Randall, not Zach Randall, Randall.
Randall, yeah.
Randall
Randall, the new
coming back.
town.
Yeah, you have Randall coming back from injury. You have Mitchell Robinson, but he's been injured a lot lately. That's their center. Very good defensively, very good on the glass, but he's been injured a lot for the past couple of seasons. And the other energy guy that they're trying to they may lose is Isaiah Hartenstein.
Mm-hmm.
He provides a lot of energy coming off the bench, defensively, protects the paint, um, rebounds. He may give you 10 to 12 points a night. So I think he's also key in for them to retain, but it might be hard with all the cap room and everything, because they're gonna have to pay Brunson because he's coming up next year, next off season. Randall is also coming up next off season as well. So there's a decision they'll have to make as well too.
Right.
So it'll be funny. It'll be interesting to see what the Knicks do now that they've made these moves, early moves. It'll be interesting to see what they do with the rest of the squad that they have.
Yeah, you see how it goes. I see this guy also was traded from the Nuggets too, Reg Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how moves are made to see who can now battle with the Celtics because Celtics kind of had their core together for a while. So you see who
Yeah,
the
they're more or
companies that
less
are putting
retaining
pieces
all
together.
the pieces
Yep,
from the
because so
championship
far,
run. So
yeah, so far I have no rumors with Celtics. Like I said, Celtics saying that like we good, we good over here. Yeah,
I saw something with somebody, but I think it's just a matter of they bringing back guys who are already on the roster. So it's just a matter of re-signing more or less now. Nothing in terms of any big names going to the Celtics. I don't think they need to improve. I think Celtics' major thing is that they need Porzingis to be healthy.
right.
Once he's healthy, they are, I would say, unbeatable in the East. Only thing I think that I would say could probably rival them would be the Bucks, but Bucks also need to figure out. I mean, they have Doc Rivers as the coach.
As I'm gonna say, coach, and yeah, you know that's your boy. That's your boy.
I'm, I rant on that too, but that's a small rant. I mean, Doc Rivers is labeled as this great coach, but he has one championship. He's made the conference finals a lot between the Clippers and also the Celtics. But Doc Rivers is as he's a good regular season coach. Um, he's a decent coach. He's not a bad coach. And I'm not gonna hate and say he's a bad coach, but
Mhm.
he's a coach like Pep in terms of he overthinks things. So like let me say if it's down to the wire like a game 7, he's probably gonna lose that game 7. And he's lost more game 7s than he's won in his coaching career. So yeah. So I mean they have Doc as a coach. It's still to be seen what is really the proper nucleus, the proper form for Dame, Giannis, and Chris Middleton. Those are your 3 cornerstones right now. I mean, you traded for Dame, so I don't. There was talk that Dame wasn't happy there, but Dame was also going through a divorce, so it off the court could have translated on the court, you know.
Mhm. Mhm.
So and he didn't have his kids and all these kind of things, and they were always close. So players have. I mean, we always look at players as just what they do when they on the field or on the court or whatever the case is. But
Right.
they are human too. They have lives off the court, and stuff off the court affects them on their day of work. You know,
Mhm. On
so
the job.
I mean, so maybe this season might be different. Maybe whatever it is he was going through last season in terms of his off the court matters are settled by now, and he could focus wholly and solely on whatever it is they need to do for him for the Bucks, or whatever it is he needs to do for the Bucks,
Mhm.
and maybe it works, you know. But um, still to see what they do. There are a lot of teams that need to make some moves, and there are a lot of teams that probably just need to make minor tweaks. So it should be fun.
Yeah, it could be vibes. All right, cool. Well, I see we reach up to our one some change, so I think we can end it off here,
Yeah.
right? Right. We go hit them with the new thing because we are new thing. You understand? Right. But as usual, as we always get down to peace.
Peace.